oh shit, that asshole with one eye is back. I know Michonne's gonna be happy that she can finally fuck him up and slice his ass into little pieces. Anyway, back at the prison, the Flu is kicking asses and taking names. My baby Sasha, she's all fucked up. Glenn's fucked up. It's kicking asses, man. People was just sick. A few people was dying and stuff like that. They had to, take a few people out, and burn the bodies and stuff like that. And yo, that damn fence is packed. Them walkers, they had that fence packed. I thought it was a club. When I seen it, I thought it was like a damn club. I started dancing and shit. I was like, oh, damn, it's popping on that side of the fence. When I seen that side of the fence, I was like, oh, shit, I want to be out there with them. They had that whole side of that fence packed. Somebody's really, really feeding these guys because it was packed. Anyway, Hershel found, he finally had to pop somebody, right? And then Rick told him about Carol. Of course, he's fucked up about that. And it was kind of hard for him to take somebody out. He had to put the sheet over the guy's head. He really didn't want to do it. That was the first time he had to pop a human or somebody just getting ready to turn. Not somebody that's fully turned and whatnot, and somebody that he knows. He never did that before. Remember, he had those damn walkers in his in that shed or whatever, and he didn't want to kill him. So this was his first time. Anyway, after that, Hershel, he saved my wife's life, man. Sasha, she almost went out. She almost bit the bullet, but he saved her. And the walkers hit the cell block hard as hell. Once somebody what don't make any sense? People act like there's no such thing as walkers still. I can understand if it's one isolated event here and there, because people get emotional. But this guy, he's like, my brother, he said, what was this? His brother was his cousin. He's like, he sleep. No, he sleep. No, he ain't dead, he sleep. This motherfucker turned and bit the shit out of him. Leaving cells open. These motherfuckers gonna turn. People that saying, oh, I'm just resting my eyes. Close the goddamn cell. I would have closed. Like, if that dude that said, my brother sleep. No, he just sleep. I'd have locked the cell on him so that if the dude wakes up and starts biting motherfuckers, he'll be the one to get bit, nobody else. Why didn't they have the cells blocks locked down? That was crazy. It didn't make no sense. So, that part didn't make no sense. But them walkers hit that cell block hard as hell. Anyway, that walker party made it through the fence, man. Like I told you, that side of the fence was popping, man. They came in dancing. The fence went down. Then they made it through the other fence. Now, I'm going to say Larry. Carl and Rick, they take them out. They went and got the automatic guns on them, And what you call? I'm going to say Carl. Rick is looking at Carl and he's like, damn, Carl ain't got no emotions. When he seen that walker sitting there, he just sprayed them, then went to the other one, hand his dad the clip, like, hey, here's your magazine. Like it was nothing for him. And Rick's looking at him like, damn, my son's a soldier. He doesn't want that. That was a problem for him. So he was watching like, oh shit, I created a monster, But that's that type of world they in right now. So he got to have a son that could, be able to take motherfuckers out. But I don't want him to go too far. Because basically he's like Juice. I'm going to say he's like Juice. He's like Bishop from Juice. Remember Tupac in the movie Juice? He's wondering if he became that. Anyway, dumbass Megan breached the cell block. But the gang made it back. Now, the reason why I call Megan a dumbass, why you break through the gun? If I'm not mistaken, shouldn't the cell block lock from the outside? Why would it lock from the inside? They don't make no. Maybe I might be wrong, but why would you break through the glass that way? Everybody can get murdered. I would have found some other way, some smaller, a hole, a chimney slide through like Santa Claus, But anyway, I'm just joking, but. I'll probably try to see if I don't have to break the glass. She let her emotions get to her and try to hurry up and get to Glenn. Glenn almost bit the fucking bullet. But it's a good thing the gang made it back. So when the gang made it back, they got their antibiotics and they fixed everybody up. So the flu is pretty much done. Everybody's, just healing and coming back. My baby Sasha, she's back on her feet, stuff like that. Glenn's back on the feet. Glenn's a G. Dudes went through it all, and he's coming out, crawled through like 2 miles of shit, came out clean on the other end. Anyway, at the end, turns out the governor, he's keeping his one eye on that prison. that one and only good eye is on that prison. So he's probably the one that's doing the, that helped the walkers breach the prison. Anyway, I gave this episode 4 out of 5. I was thinking about a 3 at first. Why? It started off slow as shit, but it picked up because I know we finally made it past the flu. That's a good thing because I'm thinking that flu shit, that's kind of getting tired. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some other shit. You know what I'm saying? That flu's getting tired. We done went through 5 episodes of it now. But it's a good thing they finally got rid of it, because I guess you can see the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, people die. We've seen that plenty of times. Anyway, it was some dogs on this walker too, right? They showed that. Them fucking dogs gonna turn. I'm waiting to see some animals turn. And when the animals turn, it's gonna be a wrap. And not only that prison might not have been as good as the idea as they thought. Because what they're doing is they're shielding themselves from the walkers. Which is a good idea. But what about their way out? You see what I'm saying? Like they basically boxed themselves in. Not only that, they're living right on top of each other. So when one person gets sick, everybody gets sick. You see what happened with the flu. They kind of trapped themselves into a bad situation. That's what I'm thinking is what happened. And the governor, like I said, the governor is probably behind, the walkers breaching. But then, the guy who was doing that, feeding them rats, that's probably the governor or somebody or one of his henchmen. But why would somebody help him? What would he have to offer for somebody to help? Because remember them guys that was with him, they seen him spray his own people. So they probably like, yo, we may need to get away from this motherfucker. You understand? Not only that, if it was some new people, why would they need to help for what? Just for the fun of it? They don't have any beef with those guys. So I'm guessing that it's the governor himself. Now, that's probably why they didn't take over the prison already. Because if he'd had somebody helping them, he probably just cut the fucking fence down. They would have been in there already. So that's what I'm thinking happened. But anyway, go ahead and leave your comments. Let me know what you think about this episode. If you like the video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. Anime and manga means more. Back to the prison.